Hey, welcome to my cooking channel where today we'll be making chapati with a bit of a twist. In your mixing bowl, add 6 cups of plain flour, then go in with equal parts of salt and sugar. So I have added 2 tablespoons of sugar and 1.5 tablespoons of salt. So depending on how savory or sweet you'd like your chapati to turn out, it's all up to you. Add 3 tablespoons of any oil of your choice. I have gone with olive oil. Mix everything well together before adding lukewarm water. I added 2.5 cups of water, but my dough turned out a bit runny, so I had to add more flour just to make it a bit firm. So just make sure you add a few mils of water at a time. Give it time for the machine to do its magic, and then see if you need to add more water, or the water that you've added is enough, or you need to add a little bit more flour. So it's all a balancing game. Give it a few minutes for the machine to do its work, and as you can see, our dough is turning out to be pretty good. So the consistency, as you can see, is pliable, just like soft clay, and smooth, as you can see. So that's exactly what we're going for. Our dough is ready, and as you can see, it's smooth, not extremely smooth, but just the consistency that we need for our chapatis, and it's slightly elastic and it's not sticky. Cover your surface with a bit of flour so that the dough does not stick. And also, since I'm working with a big dough, I have decided to divide it into 2 and just work with one at a time. Again, just add a bit more flour on your working surface and just knead the dough just a bit. Grab your rolling pin and start rolling the dough. Once your dough has covered most of your working surface, go in with oil. So I have used ghee. You can use any oil of your choice. So cover the dough with a bit of oil and then just slice it into thick strips. So our next step is rolling the strips as so and tightly tucking the ends to secure them. And the reason as to why we're doing this is because we want our chapatis to have layers, the flaky chapatis. I mean, you could skip this step, but why not? Why not incorporate it for the flaky and extra soft chapatis? So we do the same for the other piece of dough that we set aside. So again, just spreading the dough on your working surface and then cutting it into strips, thick strips, and then just rolling the strips and tightly tucking the ends to secure them. We're now going to cover our chapatis for a period of 10 to 15 minutes. And this is just to allow the gluten to relax, to make it easier for us to roll, and also to prevent the chapati from shrinking while rolling. So it's quite a crucial step, I'd say. Now we're going to work with individual pieces. So again, just spread some bit of flour on your working surface. And this is to prevent, the dough from sticking to the surface. And so grab your rolling pin and start rolling. The shape does not have to be perfect. It can be whatever shape you desire. Once you're done, set it aside and grab another piece and pretty much do the same. Now this is where I said at the beginning of the video that this is chapati with a twist. So this is the twist. I'm going to incorporate some cheese, and as you can see, I rolled the dough, not a lot, and then so I just put the cheese, as you can see, and then I just fold it against itself, and then I begin rolling. So I've gone in with cheese, but hey, you can put anything that you want. You can put garlic with cheese, or just garlic, or veggies or herbs. You can slice them into small pieces. So this is the stage for you to go wild. So this is the stage for you to personalize your chapati. You can decide to leave it as a traditional chapati, just plain, or you can go wild. So this final stage is the heating part. So just make sure you use medium to low heat. You do not want to use high heat only because you might end up burning your chapatis. So what I do prefer doing at first is just going in without the oil. Okay, you just brown your chapatis both sides without the oil, and then once you're done, now you can use oil. Okay, and I'm using ghee, but hey, you can use any oil of your choice. I'm using 2 skillets to save time because I had quite a bit to go through. And yeah, so you use oil, at the bottom and then at the top, and then of course you flip your chapatis both sides. Once you're happy with that color, the rich golden brown color, that means it's time for you to set it aside. Everyone's favorite time is when the food is ready to be consumed. So with chapatis, you can consume them with anything. All right, so there is no specific formula. You can have them for breakfast, lunch, and or dinner. You can have chapatis with hot liquids. You can have them with curries, with dal, with any protein of your choice. You can have them even without any side dish, just by themselves. And with the chapatis that we just made, with the cheese, oof, it is delicious. Trust me on this one. So make chapatis today and let me know, in the comment section how you went about making them, and were they delicious? What did you add? Would you make them differently next time? Yeah, tell me anything and everything. All right, until next time. Bye.